रंगगंधा गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालुल विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालुल विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Goraksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandadi Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Jai Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरक्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंग देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। Oh wait, what's today? Let me just look at the calendar. I think it's Lochan Das Thakur, is it? Just opening up the calendar. Yes. Shri Lochan Das Thakur ki jai. Tudiya Shubha Avirvav Titi ki jai. जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Okay, let's begin. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति विदितो गौरीयगौर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभातगगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलोदरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवानिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुधाब्धिगाहनसुखं प्रादात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्री गौरशक्तिस्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजं राधारससुधानिधिं नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने घोरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतं मुरलीकलगीतविनोरपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुं स्मर गौरगदाधरकेलिकलं Bhavagoragadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Goragadadhara Charukathang Bhaja Kodrumakanana Kunja Vidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Twang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadhitaranga Madhye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Sri Devi Didi, Nitai Mukesh ji, Deepika Gupta, and let's see, Ganga Mataji, Anandini Didi, Vidyalala Sadidi. Oh, and Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu. So nice to see you. Um, and all the other devotees joining. Maybe Indira Mataji is there, I'm guessing. And Sarveshwari Mataji. And also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. Haribol. Oh, and Haribol, Sarveshwari Mataji, Hare Krishna. All right, so we are continuing our reading of Jaiva-dharma by Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Today we are, well, there's just like one little section of chapter 17 that I wasn't able to read yesterday, so I will read that. And then we will begin chapter 18, which is on the topic of, it is the last prameya on the topic of Sambandha. Then after this is the Abhideya and Prayojan. But this is the, which prameya is it? I think it is number 7. Yeah, it's the 7th prameya, our 8th Daśa-mūla. That everything everything is a manifestation that is inconceivably both um, one with and different, are different and non-different from Sri Hari. Acintya-bhedābheda-tattva. I'm just going to say something. Sorry, my mind's went blank. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so let's revise what we went over yesterday. First, we'll begin by going over the first introduction verse of Daśa-mūla. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. So today we're going to just read maybe like the first half of this chapter, or maybe not, like maybe the first third of this chapter. And then tomorrow on New Year's and the day after that, so January 1st and 2nd, we're going to have a special program with Shivas. Shivas just messaged me last night, and he said that he's feeling inspired to go through, what was it? He told me 3 things. Oh, there are like lots of details about the whole that he, I think he translated something or something, but like lots of details on the pastime of Gurudev bringing Srila Prabhupada into Keshavji Gaudiya Math and the whole sannyas ceremony, Srila Prabhupada sannyas ceremony, and something to do with Madhvacharya and sannyas. And then there's also an article where Srila Gurudev's talking about Kalki Avatar and Kali Yuga, not coming in Kali Yuga. I think something like that. And Shiva said it's a very rasik article and a lot about Mahaprabhu. I I don't know, like he just told me like a brief thing like that. And so so yeah, over the next couple days we will have some special, yeah, special nectar. And usually everything that Srivas always shows is stuff that's never been published in English before. And so, yeah, that will be exciting. I think it's a nice way to kick off the new year also is with some very special Harikatha about Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada's relationship. And yeah, anyhow. All right. Haribol Indira Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. And who else? Okay, that's it. Oh, Haribol Premavati Didi. All right, so let's go through the first introduction verse of Daśa-mūla. The first line is our praman, which establishes the nine prameyas. Prameya means that which is proven by the praman, by the evidence. And then on the first line is all related to Sri Hari. The second line is related to the jiva. And the third line is what we're going over today, Bheda Bheda Prakasham Sakalam Api Hare, that everything is a manifestation that's both different and non-different from Sri Hari. And also on the third line is that our sadhan is Shuddha Bhakti. And on the last line, our sadhya is Tat Pritim or Krishna Prem. This is thus instructs to the people Gaura Chandra, who is Swayam Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, Rajendranandan Sham Sundar. All right, so let's recite it. And yeah, we've gone over this so many times. I'm not sure if I should keep on going over it, but okay. The first one in yellow, Shri Hari is the Parama Tattva. He is the absolute truth. He alone is the absolute truth. And he is Sarva Shaktim. He is a possessor of Sarva Shakti, all potencies, and he is a Rasa Abdim, an ocean, an Abdim of Ras. Abdi of Ras, ocean of Ras. Now, related to the Jivas. The Jivas are Tad Bhina Angsha. Tad, his, Bhina, separated, Angsha, parts. Chajivan. And the conditioned souls are Prakriti Kavalitan. They're bound by Maya. They're controlled by Maya. They're swallowed. I think Kavalitan means swallowed also. But I don't know. I could be getting this wrong every day when I say that. And they are Tad Vimuktan. They are the liberated souls are Vimukta. They are completely free from Maya or Prakriti, the material nature. Prakriti means the material nature, and Tad here refers to that Prakriti. Okay. Then Bheda Bheda Prakasham Sakalam Api Hare. So Sakalam, everything in existence is a prakash, is a manifestation that is bhed, that is different, and abhed, non-different from Sri Hari. And sadhanam Shuddha Bhaktim. Our sadhana is Shuddha Bhakti, sadhyam tat pritim. And our sadhya is Krishna Prem. Yeah. All right, so let's recite it. Amnaya prahatatvam harimiha paramang sarvashakting rasabdhim tad bhinnangshangscha jivan prakriti kavalitan tad vimuktangscha bhavad Bheda prakasham sakalamapi hare sadhanam shuddha bhaktim sadhyam tat pritimevetyupadishati janan Gaurachandra Swayam Sa. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to read the translations for all these verses of Daśa-mūla. I'm not going to go through the Sanskrit. The self-evident Vedas received in the Sampradaya by recipients of Sri Hari's mercy such as Brahmaji and referred to as Amnaya-vakya, serve as evidence, praman, along with other evidence that is aligned with this Amnaya-vakya, such as direct perception, to establish the 9 proven truths, prameya tattvas. Reasoning based solely on logic is powerless and incapable of entering the realm of inconceivable matters. So now, Sri Hari, who Brahma, Shiva, and Indra bow to, is the sole supreme reality. He is the Paramatattva. Nirvishesh Brahma, which is devoid of energy, is merely his bodily effulgence. Paramatma, who pervades the universe and acts as its creator, is merely his expansion. That Sri Hari, the transcendental reality whose complexion resembles a fresh rain cloud, is the beloved of Sri Radha. Although non-different from his inconceivable transcendental potency, the Parashakti, he has his own independent desires and remains eternally situated in his own glory. He engages the threefold Shaktis, the Chit Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and Maya Shakti, in all their respective functions. He remains immutable even while performing all these activities. May that Supreme Personality be ever victorious. The Sarup Shakti has 3 functions: Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit. Krishna remains perpetually immersed in the delight of the transformations of transcendental love, the pranay vikar, caused by the Hladini Shakti. Through the confidential bhavs evoked by the Samvit Shakti, he is always relishing ras. He is forever submerged within the ocean of ras in his splendidly pure abodes headed by Sri Vrindavan, which manifest through the Sandhini Shakti. May that supremely independent enjoyer of Vraj Ras be ever victorious. Okay, so now the next 3 are related to the Jiva. As sparks emerge from a blazing fire, so too do countless atomic conscious jivas emanate as particles in the rays emanating from the spiritual sun, Sri Hari. Although the jivas are qualitatively non-different from Sri Hari, they are also by nature separate from him. The eternal difference between the Lord and the jivas is as follows. Ishwar, to whom Maya is subservient, is the Lord of material nature. The jivas, however, even when liberated, remain prone to the influence of Maya due to their constitutional nature. The illusory energy, next Pramaya. The illusory energy ensnares those living entities who are bereft of their true spiritual nature, absorbed in selfish happiness, averse to Krishna, and subject to punishment by the ropes of the 3 modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. By means of 2 coverings, the gross and subtle bodies, and the chains of karma, which are filled with various forms of suffering, she drags these fallen jivas sometimes to heaven and sometimes to hell. Next Prameo. While wandering through various higher and lower species in the material world, a living entity bound by Maya happens to behold a Vaishnav overflowing with Hari Ras. A taste for following that Vaishnav awakens within him. By chanting Krishna's name, the living entity gradually sheds the influence of Maya. In this way, he progressively attains his true spiritual nature and becomes qualified to relish the immaculate ras of service to Sri Krishna. That was the verse that we went over yesterday, chapter 17. And there's a little bit that we didn't read yesterday, so I'm going to just finish that off, and then we will begin this next verse. Hare Shakti Sarvam Chira Chira Kilam Syat Parinata. Nati. Oops. Okay. Just need to find our place. Actually, there is a study guide there too. I haven't looked at either of one of them yet, but there is the one made by Tridandi Maharaj and also one made by Chandramukhi Didi. I'm just going to look at the questions that Brajanath. I think Tridandi Maharaj has Brajanath's questions here. Yeah, so Brajanath asks, I think, or maybe this is Tridandi Maharaj's question. I don't know. But what is the root attainment for the jiva? What are the eight? Okay, these are Tridandi Maharaj's questions. What are the eight symptoms of one who is liberated from matter? What is the root cause of all good fortune? What is the root cause of all good fortune? Keeping association with pure devotees, one can become a pure sadhu. Thus, association of pure sadhus is the root cause of all good fortune. What is the correct definition of nisanga? That means to live in solitude. That means to only live in the association of devotees and leave any association of non-devotees. Um, what is sukriti? Is it karma or knowledge? Sorry, what is sukriti? Is it karma or knowledge? So then he explains different types of sukriti. There is, okay, and we'll come back to this. What is the only way to attain bhakti? The, the association of bhaktas is the only way to attain bhakti. Describe the step-by-step progression of Krishna Prem from the beginning. What are the four types of anarthas? At what stage are devotees Maya Mukta, liberated from Maya? What two kinds of jivas are free from Maya's control? What are the two divisions of eternally liberated souls, the two divisions of Nitya Mukta jivas? Aishwarya Gata and Madhurya Gata. What are the three kinds of liberated, formally conditioned souls? Describe the natures of Madhurya Ras for Sri Krishna and Sri Gaur. This is a question that we didn't get to yesterday when Rajan asked questions, so we'll read about this today. All right, let's look at Chandramukhi's summary. All right, so oops, that's not the right one. Here. Okay, so Mukta Jivas, liberated souls are free from Maya. In the course of wandering amongst the higher and lower species in the material world, the jiva accumulates bhakti prada sukriti, that's pious activities related to bhakti. They gain the association of a Shuddha Bhakta. Taste arises in his heart for following the Vaishnava way of life. By chanting Sri Krishna Nam, he gradually becomes free from his conditioning, and step by step, he then gains his intrinsic Chinmay Swarup, his transcendental form, and becomes qualified to taste the pure and spiritual ras of direct service to Krishna. That's pretty much just the verse, but in bullet points. You know, the verse from Daśa-mūla. Okay, so the symptoms of one liberated from Maya. He's freed from all sinful activity, not subject to the miseries of old age, always remains young and fresh, with no tendency to decay. The soul never comes to an end or dies, is never morose, has no sensual desires, has a natural inclination towards serving Krishna with no other desires. All of his desires become realized. So these eight qualities are absent from the conditioned jiva. Now the step-by-step process towards Krishna Prem. So first one accumulates Bhakti Prada Sukriti, pious activities related to bhakti. And once that's accumulated, then at a certain point, finally, he'll get the first contact with sadhus. And then after being in sadhu sangha, he starts to develop shraddha. And then his sadhu sangha with the devotees is of a a different level. Like now he's associating with sadhus with faith. And so in the association of the pure devotees, he takes shelter of Sri Guru. And then he begins engaging in the process of bhakti, that's bhajana kriya. And as he's engaging in the process of bhajan, his anarthas begin to disappear, right? So that's the anartha nivritti. And once many of his anarthas are gone, then he is established in firm faith, nishta. And then that nishta um, will eventually, like at the stage of nishta, he has firm faith in everything, and he's very solid, unmovable, unshakable in his resolve to perform bhajan, and yeah. But then after doing that, he starts to get a taste, ruchi, and then that taste becomes even more like I think it said something like by the soundarya of that taste, right? By the beauty of that taste, he starts to get asakti, a deep attachment. And then finally he comes to bhav. That's the first ray of the son of prem, this bhav, and his heart melts for Krishna. And all the sadhana that we do is to attain that bhav. That's our aim and object, is to attain bhav. And then from bhav, um, then it comes after the bhav develops more and more. Finally, we attain prem, which cannot be contained within this body. So we leave this body and we enter into Goloka Vrindavan, or Gokul Vrindavan in this Bhoma Vrindavan in this material world. Okay, so bhakti is not attained by just pious activities of this world, like giving in charity and so on. Bhakti comes from bhakti. The Tatastha Jiva needs the association of the Chit Shakti to be attracted towards Krishna. The eternal associates of the Lord come to this world by Sri Krishna's grace, and by their association, love of God arises in the heart. Ordinary pious activities gives rise to material enjoyment, and they have no connection with bhakti. They help one come to the mode of goodness. Okay. So then Raghunath Das Babaji explains the different types of anarthas, 4 different types of anarthas. The first is Swarup Brahm, being an illusion about one's real identity. Asat Trishna, having thirst for temporary enjoyment. Trishna means thirst. For the asat, asat means the mundane, material, all material things. Then the third third anartha is aparad, that arising from offenses. And fourth is hriday dorbalya, weakness of heart. I'm just gonna, because I don't want to take too long. It's already 7:30. So, at what stage are devotees liberated from Maya? From the very beginning of devotional service, one is freed from the clutches of Maya. But complete liberation from gross and subtle bodies is only obtained when full maturity in bhakti sadhan is reached. Before this, a person is liberated to the extent that he is aware of his constitutional position. And then we read about the destinations of jivas free from Maya. They're jivas who are Aishvarya Gata, attracted by Bhagavan's feature of opulence and majesty during sadhan. They become associates of Lord Narayan. And there's the Madhurya Gata devotees who are attracted by Krishna's sweetness during their sadhan. And they become associates of Sri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan and or Sri Gauranga in Svetadvip. And also there are the jivas who attempt to merge into the impersonal effulgence during their sadhan. So Aishwarya Gata, Madhurya Gata, Brahmajyoti Gata. But the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay, that's what Rajanath asked, right? That's where we left off. Where is the question? So this is what we didn't read yesterday. Rajanath, what is the ultimate destination of the unalloyed bhaktas of Sri Gaur Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Babaji. Sri Krishna and Sri Gaur Kishore are non-different in their tattva and their absolute nature. They are both shelters of Madhurya Ras. However, there is a slight difference between them because Madhurya Ras has two prakoshths, two chambers. One is the mood of Madhurya, sweetness, and the other is the mood of Audarya, magnanimity. Shri Krishna's Swarup is manifest where Madhurya is prominent. Where Madhurya is prominent, and Shri Gauranga's form is manifest where Audarya is prominent. Similarly, the transcendental Vrindavan also has two prakoshtas, two divisions. Shri Krishna's abode and Shri Gaura's abode. The Nitya Siddha and Nitya Mukta associates who reside, and Nitya Siddha means those who have attained perfection by performing sadhan, and then they reach Goloka Vrindavan, and they've attained perfection through their sadhan. That's Nitya Siddha. And Nitya Mukta means that they were eternally, like they never had to go through any sadhan. They went directly towards Krishna. They never came to this material world. That's Nitya Mukta, right? So the Nitya Siddha and Nitya Mukta associates who reside in Sri Krishna's abode are attracted first to Madhurya and then to Audarya. The Nitya Siddha and Nitya Mukta associates who reside in Sri Gaura's abode are blissfully absorbed in Audarya and then Madhurya. Some of them reside in both abodes simultaneously by expansions of the self, Swarup Vyuha, while others reside in one spiritual form in only one abode and not in the other. Those who only worship Shri Gaur during their period of sadhan only serve Shri Gaur when they achieve perfection, while those who only serve Shri Krishna during their period of sadhan serve Shri Krishna on achieving perfection. However, those who worship the forms of both Shri Krishna and Shri Gauranga during their period of sadhan manifest two forms when they attain perfection and reside in both abodes simultaneously. That's why we see our Srila Gurudev, all of our acharyas coming in this Rupa Nuga Gauriya Guru Varga, they give emphasis on both. They don't give, it's not just Gaur Lila or just Krishna Lila, but they teach us to worship both together. The truth of simultaneous oneness and difference of Sri Gaur and Sri Krishna is a very confidential secret. When Vrajanath had heard all these teachings about the state of the jivas who are liberated from Maya, he could no longer keep his composure. Brimming with emotion, he fell down at elderly Babaji's lotus feet. Crying profusely, Babaji Mahashai picked him up and embraced him. It was already quite late in the night. Vrajanath took leave of Babaji Mahashai and went home totally engrossed in meditating on Babaji's instructions. When Vrajanath reached home, he took his meal, and while doing so, he warned his grandmother sternly, "Grandmother, if you people want to see me here, stop all this talk about my marriage and do not keep any sort of contact with Vaini Madhav. He is my greatest enemy, and from tomorrow I will never speak with him again. You should also neglect him." Vrajanath's mother was very intelligent. Understanding Vrajanath's mood, she decided to postpone any question of marriage. Sorry, I have something in my throat. From the kind of sentiments that he's displaying, she thought, if he's forced too much, he might leave for Vrindavan or Varanasi. Let Bhagavan decide as he will. Thus ends the 17th chapter of Jaiva-dharma entitled Prameya, Jivas Free from Maya. So now we begin chapter 18, Bheda-bheda-tattva. Oh, and Haribol, Bindu Mataji, and Vrinda Didi, Hare Krishna. One second. Oh, and Pradumna Prabhu and Mantramurti Mataji, Hare Krishna. All right. So, Vaini Madhav had a wicked mind. Thus, when Vrajanath scorned him, he decided to seek revenge
by teaching Vrajanath and the Mayapur Vaishnavas a lesson. He made a plan with some like-minded friends that when Vrajanath returned from Mayapur, they would surround him in a secluded place near Lakshman Hill and give him a sound thrashing. Somehow or other, Vrajanath got wind of all this and consulted with Babaji. They agreed that he would come to Mayapur less frequently, and then only during the day, and accompanied by a bodyguard. My God, Vrajanath is very vengeful. um, is that a word? Anyways, Vrajanath had some tenants in the village, amongst whom Harish was expert at stick fighting. One day, Vrajanath called him and made a request. He said, Harish, I'm having a little difficulty these days, but if you help me, I might have a way out. Harish said, Thakur, I can lay down my life for you. I will kill your enemy today if you tell me. Vrajanath replied, Vaini Madhav is a very wicked man, and he means to cause me some trouble. He is creating so much disturbance that I dare not go to visit the Vaishnavas in Srivas Angan. He has arranged with some of his devious friends to create trouble for me on my way home. Harish became disturbed when he heard this, and he replied, Thakur, as long as there is breath in my body, you need have no fear. It looks as if this stick of mine will soon come to good use against Vaini Madhav. Just take me along with you whenever you go to Mayapur, and I will handle 100 opponents by myself. Whoa, Harish is pretty awesome. After Vrajanath had made this arrangement with Harish, he resumed his visits to Mayapur every second or fourth day, but he could not stay late. Yet he remained dissatisfied within himself when he could not discuss tattva. After some 10 or 20 days had passed in this way, the wicked Vaini Madhav was bitten by a snake and died. When Vrajanath heard the news, he wondered, did he meet such a fate because of his envy of the Vaishnavas? Then he concluded, his allotted lifespan had finished, and so he died. Adya vapta shatanteva mrityurvai praninam dhruva. At Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1 of the 10th canto, verse 38. One may die today or after 100 years, but death is sure for every living entity. This is an eternal truth. Now my path to Srivas Angan in Mayapur is clear. That day, Vrajanath reached Srivas Angan a little after dusk. He offered his obeisances to Raghunath Das Babaji and said, From today, I will be able to come to serve your lotus feet every day, for the obstacle in the form of Vaini Madhav has left this world. At first, the soft-hearted Babaji became a little disturbed on hearing about the death of this spiritually unconscious person, this what does it say? Anudita Vivek Jiva. Oh, Anudita Vivek Jiva, yeah. Then he calmed himself and said, Swakarma phala bhuk puman. Everyone enjoys or suffers the results of his karma. The jiva belongs to Krishna, and he will go whenever Krishna sends him. Oh, sorry, this is anyways, the quotation marks are a little bit strange here. But anyways, the jiva belongs to Krishna, and he will go wherever Krishna sends him. Anyway, Baba, I hope you have no other anxiety. Then Vrajanath responded, Only one. I have missed hearing your nectarian talks all these days. Today, I want to hear the remaining instructions on Daśa-mūla. Babaji, I am always available for you. Now, where did we stop last time? Are there any questions in your heart after our last conversation? Vrajanath, what is the name of Sri Gaur-Kishore's pure and invaluable philosophical teachings? The previous acharyas have established the philosophies of Advaitavad, exclusive monism, Dvaitavad, dualism, Shuddha-dvaitavad, purified non-dualism, Vishishtadvaitavad, specialized non-dualism, and Dvaita-dvaitavad, dualism with monism. Has Sri Gaurangadev accepted any of these? Or has he founded a different philosophical school? When you were instructing me about the system of Sampradaya, you said that Sri Gaurangadev belongs to the Brahma Sampradaya. In that case, should we consider him to be an acharya of Madhvacharya's Dvaitavad? Babaji. Baba, you should hear the 8th shloka of Daśa-mūla. Okay, so let's go through the 8th verse now. I'll bring it up on the screen here. Yeah. This font is easier to read. That's why okay. Hare Shakti Sarvam Chira Chira Kilang Syat Parinati Vivartang no Satyang Shrutimiti Viruddhang Kalimalam Harer Bheda Bhedo Shruti Vihita Tattvang Suvimalam Tata Premna Siddhi Bhavati Nitarang Nitya Vishaye. Okay, we'll read the translation in the book, and then we'll look at this one. The entire spiritual and material creation is a transformation of Sri Krishna's Shakti. The impersonal philosophy of illusion, Vivartavad, is not true. It is an impurity that has been produced by Kali Yuga and is contrary to the teachings of the Vedas. The Vedas support Acintya-bhedābheda-tattva, inconceivable oneness and difference, as the pure and absolute doctrine. And one can attain perfect love for the eternal absolute when he accepts this principle. Okay, so let's go through the Sanskrit. Let's see. So let me make this bigger so you can see it. So the entire spiritual and material creation is a transformation of Sri Hari's Shakti. So Akhila means the entire Chid Achid, the entire material and spiritual creation. The spiritual creation and the Achid, the material creation, is Sarvam, everything, is a parinati, that means a transformation of Hare Shakti, Sri Hari's Shakti. The doctrine of illusion, Vivartavad, is not truth. Vivartam no satyam. Can kind of understand that in English. Vivartam no satyam. It's not truth. Vivartam no satyam. Shrutim iti viruddham. It is opposed to the Shrutis, to the revealed scriptures. And it is Kali Malam. It is a contamination of the age of Kali. The principle of simultaneous oneness and difference. Harer Bheda-bhedo. Oh, I should add in the the principle of simultaneous oneness and difference with Sri Hari, right? Because it says Harer, right? So Harer Bheda-bhedo is Shruti Vihita Tattvam. That is the tattva which is upheld, Vihita, which is upheld by the Shrutis. The previous one, Vivartavad, is not the truth. That is against the Shrutis and is Kalimalam, is a contamination of Hari, whereas Bheda Bhedo, that is the tattva that is upheld by the Shrutis. and it is suvimalam. This verse is so clean. Like right here, it mentions Vivarta. Here it mentions Bheda Bheda. And then in the middle of the verse, it says Vivarta is Shrutim iti virudam. And the other one, in the middle of the verse, it says Shruti vihita tattvam. And then at the end of the verse, it says Kalimalam. And this one, it says Suvimalam. So Kalimilam means Vivarta is contaminated, is a contamination of Kali Yuga, and Bheda-bheda-tattva is suvimalam. That means su means like it makes it really like it's positive, like gives emphasis, like it's like completely, wonderfully vimala, no contamination, spotless. From this truth, the perfection of incessant prema for the eternal absolute. From this truth, the perfection of an incessant prema for the eternal absolute arises. So nitarang means incessant. Incessant prema. Siddhi. Siddhi means the perfection of that nitaram premna, that incessant prema for the nitya vishaye, for the eternal absolute. Okay, so incessant prema for the eternal absolute rises from this Bheda-bheda-tattva. All right, let's read for another 10 minutes how Srila Raghunathas Babaji explains this. The conclusive teachings of the Upanishads are known as Vedanta. And in order to bring their precise meaning to light, Vyasadeva compiled a book of 4 chapters called Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta commands great respect amongst the Vedanta commands great respect amongst the intellectual class. In principle, Vedanta Sutra is not as widely accepted as the proper exposition of the truths taught in the Vedas. From this Vedanta Sutra, the different acharyas extract different conclusions, which are just suitable to support their own philosophies. So everybody accepts the Vedanta Sutra, but they will extract different conclusions to support their own philosophies. Sri Shankaracharya has used Vedanta Sutra to support his impersonal theory of illusion, which is called Vivartavad. He said that one compromises the very essence of Brahma if one accepts any transformation in Brahma. That the doctrine of transformation of Parinamvad is therefore completely faulty, and that Vivartavad is the only reasonable philosophy. And I think the meaning of Vivartavad is that Brahma is completely, there's no transformation of Brahma at any time, and that the Lord comes under the control of Maya. Like Brahma is complete, but when there's Vivarta, then Bhagavan comes. You know, Vivarta is conditioned to coming under the control, coming under the influence of Maya. Maybe not the control. I don't know. Let's see. According to his own needs, Sri Shankaracharya collected some Vedic mantras to support his Vivartavad, which is also known as Mayavad. We can understand this, that Parinamvad has been popular from early times, and that Sri Shankara checked its acceptance by establishing Vivartavad, which is a sectarian doctrine. Sriman Madhvacharya was dissatisfied with Vivartavad, so he propounded the doctrine of dualism, of Dvaitavad, which he also supported with statements from the Vedas to suit his own purpose. Similarly, Ramanujacharya taught specialized non-dualism, Vishishtadvaitavad. Sri Nimvaditya Acharya taught dualism with monism, Dvaita-Dvaitavad. And Sri Vishnu Swami taught purified non-dualism, Shuddha-Dvaitavad. Sri Shankaracharya's Mayavad philosophy is opposed to the basic principles of bhakti. Each of the Vaishnavacharyas has claimed that his principles are based on bhakti. Although there are differences between, all the four sampradayas, their principles are based on bhakti. Although there are differences between the various philosophies that they taught. Sriman Mahaprabhu accepted all the Vedic conclusions with due respect and gave their essence and his own instructions. Mahaprabhu taught the doctrine of Acintya-bhedābheda-tattva. Acintya means inconceivable, bhed means difference, abhed means oneness. So he taught the doctrine of Acintya-bhedābheda, inconceivable difference and oneness. He remains within the sampradaya of Sriman Madhvacharya, but still Sriman Mahaprabhu only accepted the essence of Madhvacharya's doctrine. So Vrajanath asks, what is the doctrine of parinamavad, of transformation? Babaji, there are two kinds of parinamvad. Two doctrines of transformation. One is Brahma parinamavad, the doctrine of the transformation of Brahma, and Tat Shakti parinamvad, the teaching of the transformation of Shakti, of energy. Those who believe in Brahma parinamvad, the transformation of Brahma, they say that the Achintya, that the inconceivable and nirvishesh, the formless Brahma, transforms itself into both living entities and the inert material world. To support this belief, they quote from Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1, Ekam eva ditiyam. That means before the manifestation of this universe, there existed only the absolute truth, a non-dual tattva that exists in truth. According to this Vedic mantra, Brahma is the one and only Vastu, is the one and only entity which we should accept. This theory is also known as non-dualism, or Advaitavad. Look, in this theory, the word parinam, progressive transformation, is used. But the actual process that it describes is in fact vikar, destruction or deformation. So the Advaitavadis, they are different than the Mayavadis. The Mayavadis say that Bhagavan comes under the influence of illusion, but that's, I guess, not what the what the Advaitavadis say. They're also like impersonalist, but what is it? But they say that the inconceivable nirvishesh Brahma transforms itself into both living entities and the inert material world. Yeah, so they're not offensive. Mayavadis are offensive, but the Advaitavadis are not offensive. Okay. Sorry, one second. Those who teach transformation of energy, Shakti parinamvad, that's the Vaishnavas, right? They do not accept any sort of transformation in Brahma. Rather, they say that the inconceivable Shakti, or the potency of Brahma, is transformed. The Jiva Shakti portion of the potency of Brahma transforms into the individual spirit Jivas. And the Maya Shakti portion transforms into the material world. According to this theory, there's parinam, there's transformation, but not of Brahma. There's only transformation of Shakti. That was in, didn't we go, that's one of the Daśa-mūla verses, right? That was this one. Right, this one, right here. Let's just look at this verse again. So this is the second prameya, that Sri Hari is Sarva Shaktiman. He's a possessor of all potency. So we've gone over this verse a bunch of times already, but although non-different from his inconceivable transcendental potency, his Parashakti, Sri Hari has his own independent desires and remains eternally situated in his own glory. He engages the threefold Shaktis, the Chit Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and Maya Shakti, in all their respective functions. And so these three Shaktis, they undergo all different kinds of transformation to create the material worlds, the jivas, the spiritual worlds, all the, we know all it's transforming in unlimited ways, right? They perform they perform all these respective functions, um, because Sri Hari engages them, right? Shakti fulfills the desires of Hari. But Sri Hari remains immutable. He never undergoes any kind of transformation. Okay, so this is the Vaishnava philosophy. Shakti Parinamvad. Shakti undergoes transformation, not Brahma, not the absolute truth. Satatvatonyata buddhir vikara ityudahrita. That's from Sadananda's Vedanta Sar, verse 59. The word vikar, or modification, means that something appears to be what is factually not. Brahma is accepted as a vastu, as a basic substance, from which two separate products appear, namely the individual souls and this material world. The appearance of substances that are different in nature from the original substance is known as vikar, as modification. What is a vikar? It is just something appearing to be what is actually not. For example, milk is transformed into yogurt. Although yogurt is milk, it is called yogurt. And this yogurt is the vikar, or modification of the original substance, in this case, milk. According to Brahma Parinambad, the material world and the jivas, so according to the first of those two, there's Brahma Parinambad and Shakti Parinambad. So the Advaitavadis, according to the Advaitavadis, Brahma Parinambad, that Brahma undergoes transformation. The material world and the jivas are the vikar. They are the modification of Brahma. Without any doubt, this idea is absolutely impure for the following reasons. Those who put forward this theory accept the existence of only one substance, namely the nirvishesh Brahma, the undifferentiated Brahma. But how can this Brahma be modified into a second substance if nothing else exists apart from it? The theory itself does not allow for modification of Brahma. Accepting modification of Brahma defies logic, which is why Brahma Parinambad is not reasonable under any circumstances. However, there's no such fault in Shakti Parinambad, because according to this philosophy, Brahma remains unaltered at all times. What was it in this verse? Vikara dhyai shunya parama purusho yam vijayate. Yes. Vikara dhyai shunya. Yes. Brahma remains unaltered at all times. Bhagavan's inconceivable Shakti that makes the impossible possible, a ghatana patiyasi Shakti, has an atomic particle which is transformed at some places as the individual souls, and also has a shadow portion which is transformed in other places into material universes. When Brahma desired, "Let there be living entities," the Jiva Shakti, part of the superior energy, the Parashakti, immediately produced innumerable souls. Similarly, when Brahma desired the existence of the material world, the Maya potency, the shadow form of Parashakti, at once manifested the unfathomable, inanimate material world. Brahma accepts these changes while remaining free from change itself. One may argue, desiring is itself a transformation. So how can this transformation occur in the desireless Brahma? Do you remember when Vajranath asked this question? They already discussed this in that chapter. I can't remember which chapter it was, maybe chapter 14 or 15. Prajnath asked this very question. He said, so desiring is itself a transformation. So how can this transformation occur in desireless Brahma? The answer to this is you are comparing the desire of Brahma to the desire of the Jiva and calling it a vikar, a modification. Now, the Jiva is an insignificant Shakti, and whenever he desires, that desire comes from contact with another Shakti. For this reason, the desire of the Jiva is called vikar. However, the desire of Brahma is not in this category. The independent desire of Brahma is part of its intrinsic nature. It is one with the Shakti of Brahma, and at the same time different from it. Therefore, the desire of Brahma is the Swarup of Brahma, and there's no place for vikar. So the desire of Brahma is the very intrinsic nature of Brahma. There's no place for any kind of modification or transformation. When Brahma desires, Shakti becomes active, and only Shakti is transformed. This subtle point is beyond the discriminating power of the jivas. It's beyond the discriminating power of the jiva's minute intelligence, and can only be understood through the testimony of the Vedas. Now we must, after we finish this section, we'll end for today. Now we must consider the parinam, the transformation of Shakti. Okay, so that was why the transformation of Brahma is not the parinam, Brahma parinam bhada is not valid. But let's consider the transformation of Shakti. This is our conception. The analogy of milk changing into yogurt may not be the best example to explain Shakti parinambad. Material examples do not give complete understanding of spiritual principles, but they can still enlighten us regarding certain specific aspects. The Chintamani gem is a material object that can produce many varieties of jewels, but it is not transformed or deformed itself in any way. There's a footnote. See Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. Okay. Sri Bhagavan's creation of this material world should be understood as being something similar to this. As soon as Bhagavan desires, his Acintya Shakti, his inconceivable potency, creates innumerable universes of 14 planetary systems and worlds where the jivas can live. But he himself remains absolutely unchanged. It should not be understood that this untransformed supreme is nirvishesh, is formless and impersonal. On the contrary, the supreme is the great and all-encompassing substance, Brahma, the Brahmad Vastu Brahma, Brihad Vastu Brahma. He is the great and all-encompassing substance. Brahma, okay. That's the Brihad Vastu Brahma. He is eternally Bhagavan, the master of the six opulences. If one accepts him as merely nirvishesh, as not having any distinctions or like undifferentiated, then one cannot explain his spiritual Shakti. By his Acintya Shakti, by his inconceivable potency, he exists simultaneously in both personal and impersonal forms. To suppose that he is only nirvishesh is to accept only half the truth, without full understanding. His relationship with the material world is described in the Vedas using the instrumental karan case to signify by which. The ablative, it's upadan, isn't it? Not apadan. Anyways, the ablative case to signify from which, and the locative case, the adhikaran case, to signify in which. So, by which, from which, and in which. It is stated in the Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1.1. Let's see, how long is this? Oh, this goes on for a while. Well, not for so long, actually. Anyhow, let's just, it's already 8:06, so I'll stop here. And it's actually good if we go over this a couple times. So, yeah, we'll end here for today. And then there's going to be a little break, as I mentioned before. at the beginning I mentioned that we're gonna pause this reading for 2 days, and we're gonna have a special program with Shrivas, yeah, over the next couple days. So, and then after 3 days, once we come back to this, we will review everything, and maybe because this is a lot of tattva, so maybe we can break it down and make it really clear. But yeah. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. So I'll do the short Jai Dhwani. Jai Shri Guru Dev ki Jai. Jai Shri Param Guru Dev ki Jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Swapar Shaji Gaunityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopikana ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Shri Jaiva-dharma ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, oh, Jai Shri Lochan Das Thakur ki Jai, Todiya Shubha Abhirbhav Titi ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shrinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Pavatarani Mataji, Nitai Mukesh ji, Shri Devi Didi, I guess Sarveshwari Mataji just left, Pradumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Indira Mataji, and let's see, Ganga Mataji, Anandini Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, Mahibharta Prabhu, Premavati Didi, Vrinda Didi, Bindu Mataji, Fuleshwari Didi, and I see a few other devotees. And also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end today's stream? All right, see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. I hope you all have a happy new year. Auspicious 2025. All right. Oh, wait, I didn't look at the chat. One second. Let me just look at the chat. Oh, Shri Devi Didi is asking how's the little calf and her mother? Oh yeah, wonderful. Yeah, the calf is I think we're naming him Padmaganda. Yeah, yesterday I sat and I did my work because his umbilical cord is was wet, and Shamali keeps on like trying like sucking it, or I don't know, sucking his umbilical cord or something like that. And so we had to put some, I don't know, Subal put like ground some haldi and put it on the umbilical cord, and then we put the calf in the sun. And I sat with the calf for hours and I did my work. Just and then it dried, the umbilical cord dried somewhat, and then yeah. But yeah, he's very sweet. And but Shamali, I think I already said this, right? But the whole day yesterday, Shamli was being so like very affectionate to me as well as a calf, and like was letting me hold the calf and do everything. And she was being totally like nice and normal and wonderful. And then all of a sudden at late at night, I think it was like after 9 o'clock or something like that, all of a sudden something like switched in her brain, and started becoming really aggressive towards me. And like now, and from that time, she won't let anybody like get near her, and she's just like will buck anybody. Like she's like super defensive of her calf, which is actually a very beautiful, wonderful thing. How much love and protection the mother feels for her baby. And I messaged a couple of my friends who have cows, and they told me that this is totally normal and natural, and actually something, yeah, something that's yeah, beautiful. And but yeah, I'm trying to slowly get Shamali to. This is my first experience, like living with cows, and so I'm learning all this for the first time. But yeah, it's nice. All right, done for now. See you all tomorrow.